Hello and welcome to another discussion with the National Crowdfunding Association of Canada. The NCFA is Canada's crowdfunding hub. We work to be a voice for Canadian crowdfunding and strengthen the entire industry. In our holistic view of this crowdfunding industry, we represent and support all forms of crowdfunding. And in this video, we will be looking at institutional crowdfunding. Today we're sitting down for discussion with Matt Mcgrath from Optimized Capital Markets. He is a dealer broker by trade and is a valuable member of the NCFA's advisory board with deep experience in financial capital markets, working with the RBC for a number of years. Today he is president and CEO of Optimized Capital Markets, which is an institutional crowdfunding portal, and we'll find out about that. Deals with accredited investors, presenting them with high capital investments. How are you, Matt?
Just great. Gabe, thanks for having me.
Yes, it's our pleasure to have you, and thank you for joining us. So, we'll open up the conversation pretty basic. Can you just tell us about Optimized Capital Markets and how it started and how it helps complement existing financial markets?
Sure. So I founded Optimized Capital Markets about 4 years ago. And I did so recognizing a huge opportunity to improve how innovative companies looking for capital connected with investors looking for good, solid investments outside of the standard mutual fund and public equity markets. And since that time, I've just seen an incredible amount of growth and excitement and interest enter into our sector. And so it's a real exciting time to be involved in the crowdfunding marketplace and sector, and very thankful that in Canada and North America we're very much front and center of that emerging trend.
It's interesting because you're a dealer broker, and these dealer brokers across Canada, they're seeing things become more online. What is the kind of general consensus about their feeling about it moving online? Are they kind of afraid of it, or is it looked at as the future and innovative way to do this?
I compare it a lot to when online brokerage companies came into existence, say 20 years ago. I know in the beginning they were met with a great deal of skepticism as well as insecurity, a lot of lack of knowledge as to how they would impact the larger financial service industry. And I think very quickly the full service broker dealers realized that they were formed to serve a very particular niche in the marketplace. And it wasn't a cannibalistic scenario at all, and in fact it just enhanced the overall capital markets and financial services sector. And so when I look at what's happening with crowdfunding, and I look at how broker dealers are responding to it, certainly in the beginning there was perhaps some skepticism and perhaps some angst as to whether this was going to take business away from them. But as the industry is building itself out, I know firsthand that broker-dealers are really viewing this as a great trend and evolution in the financial service industry. And there's certainly a lot of room and a lot of potential to work with broker-dealers across North America to really bring a much broader service offering to their clients.
Right. So, for our viewers who may not know exactly what institutional crowdfunding is, could you talk a little bit about how Optimized Capital Markets is different from a regular crowdfunding portal?
Sure. So institutional crowdfunding differs in three main ways from what we refer to as standard retail crowdfunding. First and foremost, the size of the transactions are much larger. When you look at standard crowdfunding sites, the deals are typically $15,000 to say $50,000 at the high end, whereas institutional crowdfunding is very much in the $2 to $20 million range, and arguably the sweet spot is really $3 to $5 million. So the size of the transaction is the first key differentiator. The second difference is the size of the investors and how much they're looking to invest. Whether it's an outright institutional investor or an accredited investor, the investment amounts range anywhere from, say, 100,000 up to a few million. So the size of the investments are quite larger. And then lastly, the investors themselves, as I just alluded to, are within the accredited institutional space. So these are VCs, family offices, private equity firms, and accredited investors that are looking for things above and beyond your standard public equity or mutual fund that's available.
Right, so it's sort of like supercharged crowdfunding.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, and what do the companies that Optimized Capital Markets looks for? What kind of companies do you guys look for?
So we are fairly sector agnostic. Having said that, there's a huge demand from our investor base for innovative companies. And that in and of itself can span the spectrum of sectors, but for whatever reason, we have tended to work very well with clean tech, broader technology companies, life science companies, but certainly clean tech is one of our main focuses. And again, we are sector agnostic, but that has, for whatever reason, become more of a focus for us.
Yes, clean tech is the new frontier, and it does need a lot of capital to get projects off the ground. So it's great to have you guys working on stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. It's an exciting time because I think clean tech and other, let's call them socially responsible investment opportunities have, traditionally not been able to attract a lot of capital. And so on paper, that investment sector, wanted to make a lot of sense for a lot of people, but we're now at a very exciting juncture where, real money is flowing into these companies, and these companies themselves are very real, as are their profits and future prospects. So it's a great time to be involved with this type of financing, so that not only are investors making money, companies are making money, but you're also leaving a real positive footprint in the environment and the economy.
Yeah, I love that aspect of crowdfunding in general, and it's great that you guys are a part of that.
Yeah.
What does the future look like for you guys? Is there any challenges that you guys foresee in the future that might test the model that you guys have?
Looking out to the future, I see a huge opportunity, collaborating with existing market participants and market players. And we've already seen that in terms of various institutions and marketplaces approaching us, wanting to work with us, and we're certainly very responsive to those types of requests, as we do feel that there's a lot of good and a lot of collaboration that can occur. In terms of where we go from here, I really feel like we're just at the not even the first inning. I feel like there's so much opportunity ahead of us, and we're really just getting going at this point. So sure, there's going to be hurdles along the way, but nothing nothing that keeps me up at night.
Yeah, and just the crowdfunding industry in general, we see so much potential, and with something like this, it seems to solve a lot of these companies that need a higher capital investment. It seems to solve a lot of their problems. Yeah, so I don't know. Do you have any other remarks you want to make?
I want to certainly commend the NCFA for all of the good work that you guys are doing. I know you guys have put in an enormous amount of time and effort, and Craig especially. So just really commend you guys on that, and hope that you guys continue in in full force, because we need an association. We needed an association like yours, and thankfully you guys sprouted up. So just want to give you guys credit where due, and when possible. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Matt. We like to hear that. And thanks for coming and sitting with us and having a chat. And I'm sure we'll see you at the next network event or what have you. And thanks again. And then we'll see you around.
Sounds great, Gabe. All the best.
All right. See you, Matt. I'd like to thank once again Optimized Capital Markets and Matt Mcgrath for agreeing to chat with us today here at the National Crowdfunding Association of Canada. This is Gabe Nasser signing off.